here. And notice that now I've thrown in some absolute value signs in addition to having you add some integers. Whenever you see the absolute value sign, I want you to do that first before you do any adding or subtracting. For those of you who remember from your previous math classes, there's something called PEMDAS. PEMDAS. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Parentheses, exponents, multiply and divide, add and subtract. Parentheses, exponents, multiply and divide, add and subtract. Parentheses and absolute value go together. So you're going to do them at the same time, right at the beginning before you do any of the rest of this. All right, so our first example, we have 3 plus the absolute value of 4. So before you do any of this adding, you have to figure out what the absolute value of 4 is. Well, we said that absolute value is the distance to 0. So how many spaces away from 0 is the number 4? It's 4 spaces away from 0. So 3 plus 4, our answer is 7. All right, the next one, we have a negative 6 plus a negative 6. So notice they both have the same sign. If the integers you're adding have the same sign, add the digits and put their shared sign on the result. So 6 plus 6 is 12. And what's the sign that they share? They share a negative sign. Our answer is going to be negative. All right, next, find the absolute value of minus 8 plus 7. Okay, so we got to do everything in this absolute value first. So let's figure out what minus 8 plus 7 is, and whatever that result is, we've got to get our absolute value. So minus 8 plus 7, oh, they have the opposite sign. So we need to find the difference. The difference between an 8 and a 7 is 1. Okay, and it's going to be a negative 1 because 8 is bigger than 7. So let's rewrite this. All right, the difference between 8 and 7 is 1, and we need to have that negative sign. So now what is the absolute value of negative 1? A positive 1. So that is your answer. All right, moving to this side, here we have negative absolute value of 3 plus 6. So what is the negative of the absolute value of 3? We did that on the previous screen. It's going to give you a negative 3. So negative 3, now we have to do plus 6. All right, well, these two have the opposite signs, so we need to find the difference. The difference between a 3 and a 6 is 3. And we want to put the sign of the larger digit on the answer. Well, 6 is larger and it's a positive, so our answer is positive 3. Okay, moving to the next one. 14 plus negative 1. All right, well, this is a positive sign and this is a negative sign, so they are the opposite. We need to find the difference. The difference between a 14 and 1 is 13. Okay, and which sign should we take? We should take the positive because 14 is bigger than 1. So our answer is positive 13. All right, last but not least, we have negative 10 plus absolute value of negative 5. All right, so we have to, again, find that absolute value. What's in the absolute value has to go first. So we're going to have minus 10.
Sorry, I don't know that one.
And then what is the result of absolute value of negative 5? Pretty sure it's going to be a 5. All right, so now we have minus 10 plus 5. Well, we're adding something that's negative to something that's positive. So we need to find the difference. The difference between a 5 and a 10 is 5. and we need to take the sign of the bigger digit. Well, 10 is a bigger digit than 5 is, so the sign on there is a negative. So our answer is -5. On the next board, we're going to work on subtracting. Okay, stop it.